Yeah, so only 18 short months after I signed up for the pre-order, the Prusa XL finally arrived on my doorstep today. It's basically has everything that I was looking for in my next 3D printer. It was a long wait, but I'm hopeful that the wait will end up being worth it. I do have a bit of a chore in front of me though, because the workbench, where my trusty artillery sidewinder has been for the last couple of years, is really not quite big enough for the Prusa. This one only has a depth of about 25 inches, and for me really to comfortably fit the new big boy up there, I'm going to need to expand that bench top about 6 inches. So these both of these workbenches were designed and built by me several years ago, and I think it should be pretty straightforward for me to just take the top off of this one and rearrange it a bit, and then have plenty of space for the new printer. Um, that's going to hopefully be my project this weekend, weather permitting. I think I've got just about everything that I need. I would love to also build a little corner bench top there. The two workbenches are at different heights, but I could easily work around that. That's probably not going to be a project for this weekend, but something for some point down the future. It's a lot of wasted space otherwise. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this. So I think it's time I made some room in the workshop so I can rearrange and start taking things apart. So just to give you an idea of the timeline, I placed my pre-order within a day or two of them announcing the XL. I think it was November 18th, 2021. And then it wasn't until this past Saturday, May 13th, 2023, that I got the email that my pre-order was ready to be fulfilled. I submitted the payment on Monday. It shipped on Tuesday, and it was here on Friday. That was shipping from the Czech Republic to Baltimore, USA. So the shipping is wicked fast. But for those of you in the States, just be warned that there was about a $75 export duty and about a $115 import duty. So that effectively doubled the shipping price from what I was expecting, which was a little surprising and a little disappointing, but it did get here really fast. But so those of you that are still waiting, hopefully your name will come up soon, and just be prepared for those additional fees. All right, let's keep going. Hey R2, how you doing back there? Yeah, so basically disassembled the workbench top, and it should be pretty straightforward for me to bump out the top frame here. So when I built this, I used a Craig jig and really nothing more than a miter saw and a circular saw. And I think the plan is just to cut this cross piece right about here, take those two horizontal joists, replace them with some longer ones, and then add a nice little 45-degree edge where it bumps out. And then I'll just need to cut some new plywood and hardboard. So when I did design this, I did put the plywood under layer on there with the intention that the hardboard could just be replaced as needed. I've already replaced them each, I think, at least once since I built these. But yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. So just got to get off to the hardware store, get the materials that we need, and then try and finish this up today. All right, well, it's been a few hours. It's only about 2 o'clock. Weather did hold out for me pretty well. And I'm just about done with the updates. So all that really remains is putting on the trim around the edge that I modified. I actually have the oak trim that sits proud about 1/4 of an inch just to leave enough room for the hardboard. So I think I will cut that and rest that in place, and then I will attach the trim so that it's flush, and should be good to go and start putting this room back together, and then I can unpack the printer. All right, well, it's been a afternoon's work, and it's by no means professional, but should get the job done. So overall, I'm happy with that. Should be just enough room for the Prusa to sit there. And now I get the fun part of moving all this crap back. So why did I decide to go with a Prusa? Well, I think it really boils down to the fact that I don't really consider 3D printing to be my hobby. My hobby really is just to make stuff, whether it's droids or movie props or just other miscellaneous stuff. For me, a 3D printer is simply a tool that I use for my hobby. And as such, I don't really like to having to tinker with 3D printers. I really don't have any need or desire to mod them or trick them out or try and squeeze every ounce of potential out of it. I just want something that works and that's reliable. And I'm really kind of hopeful that what we've seen this year between the Prusa and the bamboo printers, I think maybe we're finally getting to that point where printers really are reliable tools. And then in terms of comparing the Prusa to the bamboo printers, the 300 by 300 bed that I had on my artillery was a good size. But there were situations where it still wasn't quite big enough. And quite frankly, I just didn't want to go down in my bed size. The Prusa at 360 square is, I think, over 40% bigger in terms of print area than my artillery. And so even though the Prusa XL, as it is right now, doesn't really have all of its potential unlocked, input shaping and so forth will be unlocked later, I'm pretty confident that it will eventually get there. And people that know me know that I'm a pretty patient guy, and for me, it's not always about speed. I appreciate getting things done quickly, but at the same time, if a print's going to take 12, 14, 24 hours, no big deal for me. I'm patient enough. So we'll see what happens, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of results I can get out of this printer. So in all, it was about 40 minutes from the moment I opened the box to getting the first print going. The first print came out looking really good. The keychain was actually on the print bed when I opened it, and then the Batarang was one that I did that was on the USB drive that came with it. So next steps for me are going to be getting familiar with Prusa Slicer and getting this set up on Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. Overall, I'm really impressed. Certainly very happy with the end result. So let me know in the comments if you've used Prusa XL, or if you have any questions about the printer. I'd be happy to answer them. And otherwise, thanks for watching.